And here we are, the High Noon Hemp Show live, noon Eastern Time on Wednesdays on the Hemptations Beach page. I am Joe Clare, live from Hemp Quarters, the man himself. Beach, how are things at Hemp Quarters this Thanksgiving Eve or the day before Thanksgiving or however people celebrate? How are things up in the cold
We
north?
like to we like to call it Hempsgiving around here, of course.
There
But
you go.
no, yeah, welcome everybody to the 12th episode, the final episode of what I'm calling this season.
Yes.
We will be back for season 2 next week, I'm sure.
We've been
But
renewed.
we're,
Yes.
we've been renewed. So welcome everyone to the Hempsgiving episode of the High Noon Hemp Show. As my partner in crime over there on the other screen says, he is Joe Clare. I am Beach, and I am here to talk about hemp and all things hemp, as I do at high noon on Wednesday. And here we are. First thing out of the gate, I think this is the only fresh new products that came in. I shouldn't say new, but they're fresh, is the Lancaster Trading Company, and they make the Hempsels pretzels, but they also have 4 new jams. And so I want to say there's a blackberry hemp jam and an apricot hemp jam and a raspberry hemp jam and a garlic hemp jam.
Well,
now, up to this point, they had spicy. So we still have the spicy. There is a spicy hemp jam, and that was kind of their original recipe, which is interesting because most people do not start with a spicy version of their product first. But the spicy hemp jam has been around for a while, which I love, and so I've been using that. But I'm really excited to have these new flavors in with some other fresh products from the Hempsels out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is a huge history of industrial hemp, I believe. Get in before Hempsgiving so you can have some hemp jam with your Hempsgiving dinner.
nice.
I don't think they did cranberry, but maybe by next year they'll have a cranberry hemp jam. I know that's a traditional. It was always a traditional part of my mother's Thanksgiving extravaganzas. She loved to cook, and so many a time we had a lot of people at the farmhouse serving up some great food on the old Thanksgiving. I did a little research, and this is mostly what I found on Wikipedia. So thank Wikipedia for this. I believe it's mostly true, or probably almost all true. I use Wikipedia as a resource all the time, and I think they're a pretty good one. It's only a couple of interesting things I found on there that was kind of like sideways. But anyway, originally, and of course this is a church thing, so originally the church had days of fasting and days of Thanksgiving, and these were just periodic times that if something bad happened, then they would have a days of fasting. If something good happened, they would have a days of Thanksgiving. This turned into, at some time in the fall, a blessing of the harvest. And so it was a Thanksgiving festival, basically based on the harvest. That's where it most likely, and this is 400, 500 years ago, I think. This is obviously related to hemp because hemp was a harvest then. And so I'm sure at some point or another there were, and there are Thanksgivings all over the world. The United States is not the only country that has a Thanksgiving. Most of them are in November. They're not always in the same date, but they are a lot in November because, again, it was just kind of became a harvest festival type of deal. Officially, Washington declared November 26th the official day of Thanksgiving. But it wasn't until Lincoln, by a presidential proclamation, declared that the last Thursday in November would to be Thanksgiving. And then Roosevelt came along and moved it to the 4th Thursday, and they did that solely for business reasons. So that there would be one extra week for all of us to go out there and spend money on
Nice.
on our holidays gifts. Back then, that was only one holidays. Everybody gets mad because we say holidays, but guess what? Respect all the cultures and know that from the days of Thanksgiving to even January through January, you have multiple cultures celebrating multiple holidays. And so that's why I say holidays, and anybody that can't respect that then is too focused on their own lives and their own beings. And I really don't care if they're mad at me for not recognizing their one singular holiday that I do not celebrate. And I like to spell it with a Z because there is as much days in the holidays as anything, because people they lose their heads, man. I don't like to drive. I don't like to go in public.
Yeah.
For those 30 days or so. it's just, but we are a retail shop and people do like to give hemp as gifts. So, that being said, we do have a Green Friday. We call it Green Friday, the day after Hempsgiving, which is tomorrow, for all of those keeping track. And today is the 22nd, I believe, the 21st, actually.
21st, yes.
Today's the 21st. So Green Friday is the 23rd. We're going to have a all-day store-wide sale there. It's probably going to be a 10. I call them a 10, 20, 30. So it'll probably be 10% off supplements, kratom, CBD, those type things. 20% off of everything else. And then 30% off of select items, hemp hoodlamb, grassroots, some of the other stuff. And so that is Green Friday. And we'll also be celebrating Small Business Saturday. So Saturday, I will forever consider us, if we have 1,000 hemptations across the country, we will always be a small business. I don't ever want to have, no matter how big we get, I don't want to ever have that mentality.
Yeah.
I think that if we lose that small business mentality, then we lose touch with customers and reality and all those other things. So, I will joke, as big as we ever get, I always will consider us a small business. And so I did just recently record a radio commercial, which I turned into, I added video to the radio commercial, just so everybody knows what this is. It's video added to a radio commercial, celebrating Green Friday and Small Business Saturday. So without further ado, my main man, Joe Clare, take it away.
Absolutely. The brand new radio commercial from Beach and Hemptations. Check it out.
After Hempsgiving, get to Hemptations for Green Friday, 11/23, and Small Business Saturday, 11/24, for store-wide sales. Hemptations has some of the most unique gifts on the planet. Make it a great hempy holidays for all by giving the gifts that will surprise and delight. Get more info at hemptations.com and subscribe to the newsletter and follow and like. Celebrate the holidays with hemp. Having Hemptations for the holidays?
And there you go.
And there you have it,
new
folks.
World premiere.
The world premiere of the Green Friday / Small Business Saturday commercial.
If you're in Southwest Ohio, you may hear that on your local radio station.
That is right. That is correct. It should be flying around some stations. It is even flying around the TV stations. In fact, I saw that very commercial during the Fox News Monday morning. And I believe it should be running on 64, probably 25, maybe 19.2. Who knows? It's out there. It's out
I've lost
there.
track of all the stations, and now there's points and like
Oh man,
25.4. I can't.
Yeah, you got to delve into the points, man. That's where the really
I stick to
crude.
HBO,
I shouldn't think that.
HBO, Netflix, and Hulu, and that's pretty much it. I avoid everything else.
Well, I can tell you that will keep many a person occupied with those three things alone.
Yes.
All right. So moving on from that, someday, only hopefully someday, we will have the High Noon Hemp Show on Netflix or Hulu. How about that? That could be
Yes.
cool.
There's got to be somebody we can email about that.
And I'm sure there's somebody to email that gets 1,000 emails a day telling them that their video
Program
should be
director or
on
something.
Netflix.
Anybody out there knows the CEO of Netflix, give us their information. Send it along.
That's right. Yeah.
We'll talk directly.
Yeah. Any of them. That's right. Be happy to support Hulu or Netflix or
Yes.
whoever else.
Or HBO. If they come, we're not going to turn them away.
Hey, man, this is right, but I don't cuss enough to be an HBO show.
That's right.
But if HBO wanted, I can tell you that, man. If HBO wanted to pick us up, I would start cussing more.
That's right. Like an episode of The Sopranos.
I hold a lot back. I censor myself, folks. I can tell you this, or you kind of sound like I was talking to R2D2 around here. Because they say geniuses like to curse. Well, I've got it down pat. Anyway, let's move on to the product spotlight. The first product, these guys again have been around for as ever as we've been around. That's the Hemp Star. This picture is their wallets. Many different styles of trifolds and bifolds when it comes to wallets. We get some other kind of fun products from them, hemp leaf related. We actually the Doobies toys, which I spotlighted a couple weeks back. We get those from Hemp Star. But the wallets, again, consistent, 20 years. Consistent seller, little bits here and there, but they consistently sell. And again, Hemp Star has been around forever. And so props to them. If you're looking to somebody needs a wallet for the holidays, we have a great selection, many different colors and patterns, and the ones underneath there, that's the Chinese symbol for, I believe, Tama, which is Chinese for hemp. And so anyway, they're really good stuff. And then you've seen me wear these plenty of times on the What Are You Wearing Beach segment. But here are the Young Maven t-shirts. We print on some of these, so this one has the Hemptations University, but the brown and orange are just plain different. We have different colors and different sizes. And again, these guys, Young Maven has been around almost or as long as we have as well. And so that's a company that deserves praise. They're out on the West Coast. Hemp Star is out on the West Coast too. They deserve praise because they have expanded. Young Maven's, I think originally, and we're coming close, is he had a 2020, and he started this like 5-10 years ago maybe, where he was saying by 2020 he wanted everybody to be wearing a hemp shirt. Everybody. And so we're getting close to 2020, and I can tell you this, from the time you said it to this time, there are a lot more people wearing hemp shirts in the world. And so I loved the idea then. I love the idea now. So let's do the best we can between now and then. We have a year to get more people in hemp shirts, hemp products alone, period. The next product, these guys are brand new to us. For the most part, we kind of had their salves, and interesting enough, we've had an issue with getting the Postal Service lost in whole order of their salves. But this is Kentucky Hemp Works. This is grown in Kentucky, processed in Kentucky hemp, and they were one of the original crops, one of the original 15 acres or so that happened in Kentucky in 2014.
Wow.
And done nothing but move forward with their products and moving industrial hemp forward in Kentucky. This little fire starters, which I think is kind of cool byproduct of using the herd. And then they have their 100% cold press hemp seed oil. And again, they do have salves. And unfortunately, due to the Postal Service, we're still waiting on the salves. But I did want to get their products out there because they are not just because they are new, but again, they are American grown hemp. And so we got to support that when we can.
So what happens
And
there?
then,
Like if you have a problem with the postal service, they alert you that there's an issue.
no, no, they didn't alert anyone. Honestly, I got one box of stuff, and I started emailing Kentucky Hemp Works, and then she contacted the owners, contacted the Postal Service, and the Postal Service gave them kind of a runaround, and I think they're still giving them a runaround. I honestly don't think the Postal Service knows why the Savs are now. And I
Wow.
don't know if, and again, it did have some of those hemp oils in it, and we still don't know if maybe one of those leaked, and then they had a situation there, but they didn't inform the owner of the company of that. They didn't say, yeah, we had leakage, we had to send it out. I don't know, the CDC or something to make sure it wasn't toxic. Um, but they didn't. If they did that, they didn't inform anyone. I don't know that if because it was coming to me that then they thought it was something illegal, and then they like had it tested, but then when it turned out to not be illegal, they didn't know what to do with it. I honestly, I could ponder many a things to how the USPS. I'm sorry, not UPS. I don't want to badmouth them. They're pretty spot on these days. How the USPS believes they need to get into the packaging movement business when they can't deliver regular mail
I
on a
wonder
consistent basis.
how many dangerous chemicals came through the mail while they were worried about the hemp oil, the hemp sale.
Yeah, right. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I'm not saying sure. You got leakage. That could be a risk to somebody, but again, to not inform, not to say, hey, what, I don't know. I could run in circles. And what's funny is that now that we've talked about this out in the public world, I truly believe that the box will probably show up on the rest of the shipment will probably show up on Friday. I can only, as all things happen, I can only believe that's possibly.
Listen, if you're the postal service, you don't want to bring the power of the show down upon you.
I wouldn't. No. I actually want to stay out of their radar too. I'll stay off of their radar too. I don't want to be trouble from the postal.
Don't protest
service.
the post office. They're fine.
They're fine.
They'll be straightened out.
Just hand deliver stuff. If you want to take the time to protest the post office, I would do it peacefully by just delivering the stuff yourself. That's the true American way right there. That's as peaceful protest as you can get. And then the last product spotlight as far as the stores, we just got the fresh batch of the hemp ice cream. Comes in 5 different flavors. We have the pints and the small cups, and then we have the sandwiches, and we've had the sandwiches for a while. And so, but the pints of just the hemp ice cream. Again, this is a vegan product. There is no dairy in the product. And so for those of you vegans out there that love the idea of eating some ice cream, I would come get some of this too with the jam. I was trying to hold back and not tell everybody about the ice cream because I knew that it was going to be on here. But, now you get the ice cream and the jam for your Hempsgiving celebration, dinner, food, whatnot, if you like to do that. I always thought that the best part of Hempsgiving was the dinner. My mom loved to use the excuse to have the family around, but you know what? Hempsgiving was something I never wanted to miss because of the spread. And so I believe in that. And I believe in giving thanks, but I'm one of those I don't do holidays in a sense. If you love somebody, then give them periodical gifts. If you love the earth and you love the bounty of the food, then celebrate that on occasion. I know it's as good excuses any to get the family around, but these days everybody just complains that nobody gets along, and so I'm like, well, then just shut up and eat. you know?
Yeah, I don't know how many
Shut
articles
up
I've
and
seen
eat.
about, avoiding political discussions during Thanksgiving and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. Come on. You're talking about trying to have families bite their tongues. Nobody does that. That's why it's an issue. But if you don't learn how to do that, come on. We never had that kind of strife. And I'm sure there were multiple personalities and multiple ideologies in my household. Um, my mom spoke her, used her voice a lot if she thought she needed to. And so, but, there would never seem to be any civil discourse. But you do have to censor yourself a little there too, I think, and be willing to take it. But if you can't get along with your family for a half a day,
Yeah,
peaceful protest, stay at home.
just shove food in your face. You'll be fine.
Or shut up and eat. Oh, shoot. The last product. Now, I do believe that I did possibly product spotlight this. This is my personal product. This is the coffee filter that I've been using forever, in use just today. Now, I think I did do the product spotlight. These coffee filters were actually made here at Planet Everywhere. Again, you will never have to buy a coffee filter again if you get the right size, the right one for your coffee pot. And I love pot of coffee. And so it's one of those things that's, oh no, I can't, I can't fathom the amount of paper coffee filters that have been thrown away over the years. And we compost our coffee, of course, of course, we compost our coffee. And so again, dump it out, rinse it out a little bit, put it in, use it again. Great overall, great product, everyday product that if you drink coffee and you still run through it. And, I think I badmouthed the Keurig when I talked about, and I have some and I had some and I finally got myself away from because of the waste. Going back to a traditional filter coffee is really the environmentally thing to do. And then if you use a hemp filter, once again, very environmentally. You're like, hey, I'm an environmental coffee maker. And we have to love that in the world.
Absolutely.
And so there you have it, folks. There's the product spotlights. 4 from the store, 1 from my door. Hey, there we go.
Which, of
How about
course,
that?
brings
Sticking
us
with
to the
that
most
one.
popular segment ever in Facebook live video history. I can confidently say that is the Beachwear segment, where we ask Beach, hey, what are you wearing, Beach?
What are you wearing, Beach? Well, today, same as last week, I do have a head case hat on, but this is the old Do Hemp, which is a satirical DuPont Do Hemp, obviously hemp hat. This is classic hat. I very rarely wear this, and this is another one of those hat situations where I have one that's completely worn out and one that's in decent shape. Kentucky does play tonight. I know I mentioned this last week, and so I am wearing blue because Kentucky basketball is on today. So I try to stay with blue when that happens. As you can see, I've got a blue hempy zip-up kind of hoodie on with the Island Hemp. I love this. This is one of my older shirts, but still in really good shape. Island Hemp plaid button down. And then we got the Hemptations University t-shirt, and I'm not sure where these t-shirts came from because the label's kind of frayed on it, and so it's been around for a while. And then my pants, which I am actually going to flake on now that I am thinking about it. It is. They are the. Oh my gosh! And I didn't put the jeans down, and now I forget who made my jeans. Man, all right. Well, I'll have to get back to you on that. We got the Hempeth boxers with the Hempeth socks and the Habitat kind of surf shoe kind of look. Now, I do know that the hemp jeans are made by a company. Oh, that's right. Just Natural are the jeans that I have on. And Just Natural hasn't been around for about 10 years, but they made some really nice jeans and some really nice cargo shorts that were really popular for a while there too. And then I think they experienced some financial difficulties, and he left, I believe, a whole boatload of stuff like off the coast because he couldn't pay for it to come in. And I feel like somebody finally bought it. I don't know, but that's Just Natural. Yeah, great company for years and years and years. That's the jeans I'm wearing. So if you were wondering, what are you wearing, Beach? Now you know.
Good stuff. As always, the beachwear.
Indeed. All right.
Bill Schmidt
Well,
Jr. checking in the chat area on Facebook. Welcome
that
to
is
show up
the
with everybody else.
one of the hardest working dudes in the. I don't want to say even dudes because there are a lot of hardworking females in the state of Ohio, but I will say that I love that guy for everything that he does for cannabis because he does a lot. Anywhere that you see a sensible movement or a decrim or something like that, there's a good chance that he's got his fingerprint on it in one way or another. So thank you, brother. Love you too.
Absolutely.
And hemp shirts, most hemp shirts, 99% of my hemp shirts do last forever. He's dead on there. So represent. If you're ever over in the west part of Ohio, check out Peace Pipes. Nice little shop there on the river over by West Virginia. Again, he's holding it down, and he runs around the state like a man with a plan, and he 99% of the time does. And anyway, all right, cool. Moving on. Speaking of that, moving on to the news, I want to say kudos to Meg's Fertilizer, Julie Duran, for the Industrial Hemp Farm Summit. It was a great event. Attendance was good. The full line of really, really good speakers on different aspects of cannabis. And so, that happened last Saturday. We were there. We set up our booth, gave a little bit of product away. There was an article written out there that, in fact, the author of the article said that I was his favorite speaker. So I appreciate that. Makes me warm inside. I actually had visuals. So I know I mentioned last week that I was going to break out the visuals for the first time. And it worked pretty well. And so anyway, it was a great event. I look forward to, she's Julie's out there fighting for industrial hemp in the state, and hopefully we'll have something there sooner as opposed to later. Speaking of that, we'll go on to a little bit of events that are coming up this weekend. The Hemp Road Trip documentary. If you're going to be in Vermont, they're going to do a showing at the Latches Theater in Vermont, November 23rd. November 25th, they're going to be at Club Cummings in New York City. So I think that's Sunday. Sunday, you're in New York City. Go to Club Cummings and check out the Hemp Road Trip documentary. And then they're going to do a showing November 26th at the Ambromson Center in Maine. That's the Hemp Road Trip, which I was on for a week. And my pretty little face is in the documentary. For all of you that would like to view it or watch it. And I do believe it was or is, and I don't know if it's gone to the film festival, but I do believe they did submit it to, and it got accepted to a film festival, but I haven't heard back on what's going on with that, but we'll keep everyone apprised. as I do with the Hemp Road Trip, because I love Rick Trojan, everything that he does for hemp. And then November 25th, no, I'm sorry, I did that. December 4th and 5th, you have the Hemp Technologies Hempcrete events. One of those, the December 4th event is going to be in Vermont. The December 5th event is going to be in Massachusetts. You can go to Hemp Tech, HEMPTECH, Global, GLOBAL, all spelled out.com, and register for that. And so, I know a lot of people want to get involved with the Hempcrete stuff. And so I try to keep as many of the Hempcrete events out there as I can. I swear I had another event for, man, I'm missing something. But anyway, I will try to get, once again, I try to get everything on the news and events portion of the show up on the About page at hemptations.com. I know I need to update it, so give me a little bit after the show today, but I hope to get to that today and get everything updated. Beginning of the year, don't forget about the Asian Hemp Summit, Kathmandu, which is February 1st and 2nd, hemptoday.net for this stuff, and the Deep Green Building in Poland, that's hemptoday.net as well. And I did get to meet the organizer of the National Hemp Expo at the Hemp Summit. Young kid who's diving right into things, full blown farming, processing, whatnot, down in Kentucky. That is April 13th and 14th. I won't be there on the 13th, but there is a good chance that I may be a part of the 14th events. We'll see. We talked about it, and if he asks, I'll be happy to help. But I know I've already got something on the 13th, so I won't be there for that. But you can go. They have I do believe that he has started an event on Facebook for the National Hemp Expo in Louisville, Kentucky. So you can get more information there. He's still looking for vendors, any type of booth. So if you're in the hemp business, and you want to put your stuff out there in front of people in Louisville, Kentucky at the National Hemp event, I think he's planning things far out in advance that attendance could be quite decent. So we'll see. I hope that didn't cause a glitch there. No, that was weird. And so that is everything.
There you go.
That I have for the hemp news segment and whatnot.
Of course, the Ask Beach Anything segment is it's thwarted by Facebook. I know there are a lot of you out there that have questions about hemp or CBD or products in the Hemptation stores, or just something random that you want to stump Beach with, and you just have no way to get it to us. You forget about it. You don't see the post. You don't end up emailing your question. Of course, if you're live and you're in the chat area, you can ask questions there as well. Facebook is and I know it's a lament that we've had since the beginning of the show. Facebook just has problems with allowing the interaction that would be good for Facebook and be good for the show, and they just don't. They're not into that. If you really have a question, make sure you email Beach and get that in, and the contact page at hemptations.com and all that. But as far as seeing the post on Facebook, I can see because Facebook tells me. Facebook has the audacity to say, "Hey, we're not showing this to anybody, and we're going to show you just how many people are not seeing this by giving you the numbers of the people who have seen it." So they really rub it in that they're not letting you see these things.
That's right.
But you can always ask Beach anything. He's an open book. He's very knowledgeable about the hemp and the CBD, and obviously the products in the Hemptation stores. But I don't know. There's a breakdown in interaction that's completely the fault of Facebook. I've had it with them. A stern letter to what's his face, Zuckerberg.
We could do a stern letter to Zuckerberg, because I know he only listens to stern letters.
Yes.
Right. Again, I suppose, if we're going to do an ask and answer, we touched on this earlier. We could say, hey, are we going to be back for another 12 episodes? And the answer is yes. So, yeah, if any of you are concerned,
the higher ups that things are renewed.
That's right. The time span is available for another for another 12 weeks.
Yes.
Which is great. You know, that'll take us through the holidays and then the lull of the beginning of the year. You know, that'll be fun. It'll be fun. More
Wednesdays
hemp
at noon?
stuff to come, folks. Wednesdays at noon. Again, you could go to the website, hemptations.com. Check on things there. Throw your email into the newsletter box. I did send out the first newsletter, and I don't know if it actually went out. And I'm going to try that again. Maybe with the Green Friday stuff. Did you add your newsletter? Do you have your email on my newsletter on the Hemptation speech?
I am not sure. I don't think I do. I'm just thinking
You might
that would be
have
a
to do
great
that.
way to get interaction for the Ask Beach anything. So it's another
You
way to
know,
go
I
to
think so.
temptations.com and put in your email and
Yeah,
maybe we can
we'll
generate
get this
some,
newsletter thing working for us. It's kind of new
Absolutely.
to me, so bear with me, but I will get it working for us one way or another.
and I'll be sure to add my email to the mix so I can see what's going on, see what's up.
Right on, right on. Well, folks, as usual, I think we're going to call it a day. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. At least on one computer. It's probably not that on another. As I like to say, reduce, reuse, recycle, make everything else out of hemp. Having Hemptations.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. See you next week right here on the Temptations Beach page on Facebook. Peace.